What's up, YouTube? So back at it again. Probably feels like I took a little hiatus, but not really, because I've been working on another channel. If you guys want to check it out, it's called Awesome Lost in DDS, which stands for Doing Dumb Shit. I haven't really done a lot of dumb shit on there, except for like the one chip challenge. But I've just been kind of doing some Amazon Vine open box reviews and stuff, just some cool little stuff here and there. So I really have been staying busy, just haven't really like put too much on my other channel, this channel right here, the DIY. So I figured I'd post something up here, just kind of keep the subscribers, wanting some more, I guess. But in reality, I've really been wanting to do this for a little while. I've done it a few times already, which is ceramic coating. And I wanted to do it to my vehicle, just to kind of show people that you can do it at home. This is what this channel's all about, right? Do it yourself. So I just kind of wanted to, go through a little tutorial on what you can do, a little time-lapse action and stuff. Basically, we're going to do it on this vehicle right behind me, my 2013 Ford Raptor. I figure out of all the vehicles I got, this is kind of one of the ones I'd like to put ceramic coating on. I'd like to do it with all my vehicles. And after this tutorial, hopefully you guys want to. No matter if it's, maybe a little Jeep Patriot or, I don't know. I can't even get this thing in view. That's not a good view of it. It's kind of broken down. An Avalanche, a high-end vehicle, a not so expensive vehicle. The stuff's kind of expensive. I'll show you guys right now what I use. It's probably about $80 on Amazon. So I don't know. It kind of depends on how you look at it. I mean, it's definitely a lot cheaper than paying what some of these guys are charging for, ceramic coatings, which has come, sometimes I heard up to like $1,800, as cheap as $800. All that sounds way overpriced to me, considering what you got to do and how you can do it yourself. I've done it a few times. The results are pretty much like if you wax your car, it's just you don't have to wax as much. So I get the concept behind it. I just don't understand why these guys are charging so much. So I figure I'd get on here, see if you guys would like to make the attempt yourself after you watch the tutorial. If not, hey, at least it kind of heeds your warning of maybe why you'd like to have somebody do it professionally. But I'll be honest with you, I really don't think anything you're going to see on here is going to scare you guys. So anyways, let me go show you what I'm going to use in the vehicle, and then we'll jump into it. All right, let's go. All right, so we're in my little detailing vehicle. This is what we're going to use. Drexler Ceramic Advanced Car Protect Solution. I don't know, protectant solution would have been better, I think, the way to say that, but either way, I'm sure you guys would say it. So this is what you get when you order it. Like I said, I've already used this a few times already. So like right here, they give you like this little cloth pad. If you can see like how stiff this is, obviously it's dirty too, but this is one I've used. So if you don't know what ceramic coating is, it's literally like liquid glass. So I kind of used a little bit on this one already too, but this is kind of how like a cloth, fabric piece should be, really flimsy looking. And this is like if you had an old gym sock or something, it's just super stiff. But like I said, ceramic coating is literally just liquid glass. So yeah, when you use these little cloth pads they give you, it's like a one and done. Once you use it, you basically got to toss them. I don't think you could wash them and reuse them. It didn't say you couldn't, but it didn't say you could either. And I say that you could probably get a couple of these, somewhere. I don't know where, to be honest. Probably these are like something you can use to clean your glasses with or something. So you could probably go to like the dollar store and maybe get a couple packs. That's all these really are. It's just fancy because they got their logo on there. But anyways, what else comes with the kit? So you get the actual base coat that they have. So some ceramic coatings just have a one coat and done. This one's got a 2 base coat. So the only other thing that I guess I can kind of like let you guys know is that it does take some time. I see why maybe some, detailers and stuff will charge so much just because of the time. I'm going to show you guys kind of a quicker way that I've done it, so that way it cuts down on the steps that they have, which basically includes like first you wash. That's an obvious. Second, you're going to clay bar it. And then last, you're going to do an isopropyl alcohol type cleaner. You can even use, I'll show you guys if I can find it back here. And I can't, but I'll throw it up on the screen. It's, what's that company? Chemical Guys. They have it's called Wipeout. It's basically like it basically takes away any kind of grease, wax, anything you got left in the car. Because basically you're just going to start with nothing on the paint, and then when you put this on, this is what's going to be over it. Because the reality is, like, and I see what'll scare some people, obviously what I'm going to say next is whatever's on the car stays on there for at least like 2 years. And that's in a good situation. We live in California. We got pretty acidic rain, and I don't know. You really do got to do the same thing as like waxing every 6 months. You basically got to do what this is right here. It's basically like a maintainer. It's going to be part 2. It's a top coat, but this is also something you can use to maintain it. So every 6 months, you can get a bottle from them. I have a bottle that I got for my customers that you just go over every 6 months, spray it down, wipe it down. It's basically like waxing it again, but obviously a lot quicker. And then a little sponge, which you're going to basically use to wrap the cloth around. Drop a couple drops on here from the first top coat, and then do a crisscross pattern across the paint in small 2 foot by 2 foot sections. And then also gives you some guidelines. I'll throw it up on the screen too, but depending on the temperature, the hotter it is, the less time it has to sit on the car. The colder it is, the longer it needs to sit on the car, if that makes sense. So like on a day like today, we're like in mid-December, and yeah, it's probably going to take, according to their guidelines, probably about a minute and a half before you start wiping it off, just so it adheres to the paint. You definitely don't want to sit it for too long. So if you go a little under that, that's okay. It's better you go under than over, because what's going to happen is, I don't have examples of it, but you can watch a bunch of videos. If you let it sit on there, it basically builds up a little layer of, the ceramic coating. And then there is a way to take it off. It's just a pain in the butt, but you basically got to take compound and a buffer and just knock it down, but then you can do it all over again. So that's kind of one of those things I wanted to tell you guys about is, you shouldn't be scared to do it yourself, because there's really no way to do it wrong. I mean, there is, but it's not like it's a one and done and you screwed up your paint and you're stuck with it forever. You can do the whole car and then knock it down with compound if you're not happy with it, and just do it again. I mean, like I said, this kit's not cheap. It's definitely more expensive than, $12, $13 bottle of wax, but it's like $80, but definitely a hell of a lot cheaper. And extremely, I mean that, in the correct words, definitely a hell of a lot cheaper than doing it with a professional. And I don't know, I guess when I say that, that's probably what you're paying for, is the professional time that the guy's going to take. Plus, you got to do your time, right? If it's not worth your time, yeah, you're probably going to spend about a good 4 to 5 hours of your time doing this. If you do it correctly, maybe a little bit less if you do it my way, because basically, like I said, you got to wash it, then you got to clay bar it, and then you got to take compound and knock down anything you don't want on the paint, like scratches or anything like that. With my 2013, Raptor, I'm sitting in my detail vehicle, there's not anything really on there. Like a new car, you don't have to worry about it. If you have a car that has some, some scratches on it, then yeah, you're going to take the compound. And, if you're not used to doing that kind of stuff, watch a YouTube video. It's not hard to do. Just be careful, don't use heavy compound, use light compound first to try to knock down scratches. And then you use the isopropyl alcohol. So like I said, if you did all 4 of those steps, yeah, you just imagine it takes you maybe a good hour to wash your car, takes a good 30, 45 minutes to clay bar your car. Then maybe you do another 30, 45 minutes of just going over your car, more or less, depending on how many scratches you got and stuff you want to take out of your compound, how big the vehicle is. And then it'll take you like 10 minutes or 15 minutes to do the isopropyl alcohol or wipe out from chemical guys. And then the time it takes to just go through every 2 foot by 2 foot section. So like I said, it'll probably take you maybe 4 to 5 hours. The way I cut down on some of that work is I use Dawn dish soap. We all have Dawn dish soap. You know what I mean? So, if you've ever, heard, people in the past, obviously we've all had Dawn dish soap before. It's readily available. You know what I mean? But that stuff strips your wax and everything on your car. So it's not good. Unless you're planning on waxing a car. I use that for when I want to re-wax my car. I use that just to take everything off. And that way it saves you the time of doing the clay bar, in my opinion. I still got to do the compound. Obviously, Dawn's not going to do anything like that. But if you want to skip the step, it'd probably save you a good hour right there. And also with this kit, the thing about this one having a top coat and a bottom coat, or a base coat and a top coat, is you put this on and then you got to wait 4 to 5 hours. It says 3 to 4 hours, my bad. 3 to 4 hours before you do the top coat. So this you just spray on, you just wipe off like in less than 20 seconds. But this you got to leave on at least a minute and a half, depending on the temperature. It can go from a minute and a half, like I said, the coldest, to like about 45 seconds in a hot weather. And there's a little bit of a middle in between. I would just do like a minute and a half in this kind of weather. But yeah, so anyways, I can ramble on and on and on. But let me just kind of start going through the steps with you guys. I'll even put a link up here on where I got the stuff. I got on Amazon. So it's like $80 for this kit. and we'll get started. All right, let's jump into it. All right, so like I said, this is what you're going to use if you want to cut down one of the steps of clay bar in your car, in my opinion. Just some regular Dawn dish soap, whatever, just dish soap. You know, it basically cuts down all the grease and wax and everything like that. You're still gonna have to use the wipe down, but at least this saves you from doing the clay bar if you don't want to do it. I'm not really worried about my car. I've done that before. It's definitely dirty, so the wash is definitely gonna be the first step. And then I'm just gonna basically, you know, do a wipe out. I'm not even gonna do compound because I went over this car when I bought it and there's not any scratches or dings or anything on it. And in my opinion, I'm not too super finicky about anything that maybe does get trapped, because like I said, once you do it, it's trapped underneath here. Like let's say you have this little bird turd right here. Once you put it over it, it's on there for at least 2 years. If you're lucky, like I said, in California, at best, you know, I think you're probably only gonna get like a year and a half, which is fine, you know what I mean, if you do it yourself, but obviously you're paying somebody 1,800 bucks. And the reason why some of the stuff goes up too is they just do layer by layer. You could do as many layers as you want. So once you do the first layer and base coat and top coat, then you can go back over and do another base coat, top coat. You can do as many coats as you want, and that's what's going to build up your years. So yeah, I would say if I wanted to keep this like this for 5 to 10 years, yeah, I'd probably go through every little nook and cranny just to prep it all. But I mean, for me, only paying 80 bucks, I already made my money back doing a couple cars with it already with that kit. They usually say that kit only lasts maybe 1 car, but you do about 7 to 10 drops on a little cloth piece. And I was able to do like a couple cars already with it. So I think you could bet you can get about 2 to 3 cars depending on the size of vehicles. If you got this kind of vehicles, you could probably do like 4 or 5, because you just don't need that much. A little goes a long way. But like I said, yeah, that's really the only difference that you guys are paying for. When you're paying for 5 to 10 years, you're just paying for more layers from what I've read. I don't know, I could be wrong. The comment section might blow up, which is cool because I'll even take haters or people that want to tell me otherwise, because I appreciate all the comments, and you know, means more attracting more people to my YouTube channel. But anyway, so let's stop rambling. Let's start washing this car, and then we'll get down to the wipeout, and then we'll start going through the process of doing the 2 foot by 2 foot sections, and then we'll show the end results. All right, let's jump into it.
Production.
All right, guys, so truck is washed. I didn't even bother like with the plastic pieces. You know, I even seen like some of these guys actually do like stuff over the headlights and stuff too. Like they'll do the ceramic coating over the entire body. I don't know, you know, I don't know about that. So I'm just literally like, if I would do a quick walk around, I'm not even bothering with the tail lights, especially this one. This one needs to get redone anyways. You know, the plastics I didn't even wipe. You know, up here, the windows I didn't even bother wiping, because I'm just trying to do this kind of quick. I am trying to do this quick because one, I don't have a daylight during the wintertime. Plus I kind of want to show you guys, like, you don't have to drop 1,800 bucks and you don't have to dedicate an entire day. I mean, ideally, I forgot to mention this earlier, if you have a garage space to do this, even better, because what is going to be difficult, and I just thought of this, was when I actually spray that top coat, it's a mist. So you're supposed to be about 6 to 8 inches away. Maybe I think it says about 6 inches, I believe. And it's going to be tough when the wind's picking up a little bit, so I'm going to have to get a little bit closer, but not a big deal. I'm not worried about it. I've done enough times. I'm not really freaked out. I mean, you got a good shine. I already pre-washed this without wax on it, so that's why I really want to put something on here, because you know it's really going to start getting beaten up if I don't actually put my ceramic coating on here. So I just kind of was running short on time to do it, and now I had an opportunity, so I said, hell yeah, let's do it. So yeah, I kind of said this truck had, you know, pretty good paint, but you can see like right here, there's some scratches, some scuff marks right here. So this is the stuff that you guys are going to want to do if you want to take this stuff out prior to putting that ceramic coating on, because like I said, once you put it on, it's going to be on there for a good 1.5 to 2 years, depending on how many layers you put on. I'm not really too worried about it, because my thought process is this: you're going to wax your car, right? If you wax your car, how many of you guys actually go through and buff it and take these out prior to waxing it? I would say a good 75% of you guys probably don't. It's those hardcore, you know, detailers that do that as a business do that, and you're paying them to do that kind of stuff, and then the guys that just really care about their car to go that next level, and if you got the time. I'm kind of in between both. I would do that, but I'm kind of out of time to kind of go through everything. And I say that, but in reality, I probably could. But I'm also kind of not really too concerned about it, because it's an off-road truck. You know what I mean? So like, I didn't even clean the wheels or nothing like that, because I don't want this thing looking superb, like brand new looking, because I don't know, I'm at that thought process of, if you have an off-road vehicle and it looks nice and stuff like that, it means you're not using it. So I don't use it as much as I should. I want to, but yeah, I don't need it to be super shiny. You know, like this stuff's all stuffed down to the primer and stuff, so you can't do nothing about that. So yeah, I'm happy with it. If it comes out like I did a wax job, and that's basically what's just going to happen, is you're just basically going to have something that looks like it had a wax job every single time you wash it, without you having to wax it every single time. And I'll be honest with you, it doesn't take that much work to wax the car. But either way, we're back at the tutorial about ceramic coating, right? So anyways, I just want to show you guys kind of the condition of my paint and what I'm decided I'm going to do next, which is not do this kind of stuff. I'm just literally going to do the wipeout now, which let me show you guys what that is. So this is the stuff that Chemical Guys has. It's wipeout, surface cleaner, cleanser, spray, great for inspection while polishing, strips away old wax and sealant. Isopropyl alcohol does the same thing. Whatever you got, you know, even if you don't have it, I'm just doing it as extra insurance. But like I said, this stuff is all you really need, in my opinion. I did it in a couple cars. It works great. Like I said, let the comments fly once some real detailers probably hop on here. But hey, I'm doing this for the common man, regular Joe Schmo guy who doesn't want to drop $800 but is willing to get down and dirty and do stuff themselves and save a couple pennies, because we all should have nice stuff, but we should all have to be forced to spend thousands of dollars just because somebody says this is the way you got to do it, right? Because if you just put the know-how and the will into something, you can make anything happen, in my opinion. You just can't be limited by what people say, right? That's why I do what I do, because I don't really care what people think. That's another thing, I guess, as well, because I guess if a detailer, saw my car, he might give me some critiques and be like, dang, who did your ceramic coating? And he might be right. But in the common man, the regular Joe Schmo guys, like I said, probably aren't going to notice this kind of stuff. So, and you know what, in all honesty, I think if somebody was a detailer and you told them you did it yourself, I think if they were really cool, they'd probably say, hey, you know, that's a good attempt. This is what I would do next time to make it even better. Instead of somebody giving you a smart ass comment or something like that, right? Just because they want to be a dick. I'm not into that kind of stuff, so I don't care what those kind of people think. I care about the guys that want to make you be better at you attempting to do stuff yourself. So anyways, sorry I went on a little rant there, but anyways, this is the condition of the truck, so it's all clean. Next, we're going to do the wipeout. Like I said, what you would do typically is clay bar it just to make sure you get all the deposits, but my paint's pretty stellar. Like you can see all the reflective pearlescent, whatever you want to call it, that's in the paint, the pearl flakes. So I don't really need to do that. I don't really have that issue with hard water stains. That's what you pretty much should do the clay bar for. And it's just an extra, ability to take off any contaminants. And then I would, like I said, you would do the compound, probably do a light compound. I use McGuire's Ultra Compound, which I think is fantastic. That stuff's not super rough. Where's it at? Right here. Or Ultimate Compound. That stuff's not super rough. It's not like, I don't have it here, but a heavy compound, which, like I said, be careful with this stuff because you can get down to, bare metal real quick and you don't want to do that to yourself. So yeah, just take the ultimate compound, start knocking these down or get rid of them. That's what I should be doing. I don't really care. I clearly just want to, you know, have that credentials of, hey, this off-road truck's just gonna be a little beat up. It's not a Maserati and all that stuff like that. But you know, everyone's different. So anyways, and so like I said, then you're gonna do the wipeout, which we're gonna do next. So let's jump into it.
This is Phase Ed Music.
All right, after all that, let's get to the fun stuff. So this is where we're gonna take a little cloth, you wrap it around like so. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna take your base coat here. Make sure you don't get this stuff on your skin. Make sure you wear gloves. I wear gloves anyways, but yeah, because that's just straight glass right there. See it all built up. So then what you're gonna do now is you're gonna do 7 to 10 drops. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. One more. Boom. And you're literally just gonna do back and forth in a crisscross pattern. Make sure you get every little thing, and you'll see it too. It's like if you're doing a wax. It's just going back and forth. Make sure you get it all on there. All right, and then make sure you get yourself a timer. That way you know when to wipe it off. So what you're gonna need is you're gonna need like 2 rags, just to make sure that you microfiber towels or something like that. They give you one in the kit. I think this was the one I was using right now to wipe down right here. So you're just gonna wipe it down like if you're doing a wax, and then you're just gonna use the second one to buffer. And then that's it. You're just gonna go over it the entire car. And then once you're done, you're gonna let it sit here for about 4 hours. Like I said, in this cold weather, you gotta let it sit on for about 1.5 minutes. I'm watching the clock on top as I talk. Just make sure you don't let it sit on there too much longer. But that's it. Basically, like you see where I put it on and it didn't, it's just gonna bring a nice shine to the vehicle. So that's what we're gonna do now. We're just gonna go through the whole thing, and then I'll show you guys the end result. And then literally, I don't need to show you guys the top coat, because it literally, all it does is just make sure that everything is adhered, and that just adds a little bit of layer of protection to make sure that the ceramic coating is going to last. Because like I said, there's acidic rain, there's all kinds of tar, there's all kinds of stuff that get on your vehicle and your paint, and if you just leave it exposed, that stuff's going to come right off. That top coat basically like hardens it and gives us a little layer of protection, and that's what you're going to use every 6 months, is that same kind of top coat that you can buy from Drexler, or they even give you the one that's with it. If you have some left over, you just spray it on, and then leave it on for about 10 to 20 seconds and then wipe it off. I literally just spray it on and wipe it off, and it hardens everything on there, keeps any deposits that are on there after 6 months, like anything that could deteriorate it. That's what makes it last longer. It just takes that right off too once you do the maintenance. So same thing as a wax job, you know what I mean? It's not really anything too crazy. It's something that anybody can do, and I think it gives pretty good results. Like now I'm wiping it off because it was about 1.5 minutes, and that's it, you guys. You just do that to the entire vehicle, and let's see if you can see a difference. So you can see a difference. You can see right here where it's dark and then it gets light, and then that's it. You know what I mean? You're just basically like you're doing a wax job. Just using different kind of material. Some that lasts a little bit longer, some that's a little more expensive, obviously. This is something that maybe you guys could even think about, maybe not worth it for yourself to spend $80 to do something that only lasts 1.5 years. Like I said, you can get a 12, 13 bottle or even more expensive, like some chemical guy stuff, wax. And wax could probably last you, if you had one vehicle, you know, a couple years, and you only spend 12, 13 bucks instead of spending 80 bucks. So I don't know. There's a lot of difference of opinions. I definitely don't think a lot of you guys need to just feel like, oh man, I can't do ceramic coating because I don't have 1,800 bucks or 800 bucks. You know, I charge like $400 for like a smaller vehicle and $500 for a big vehicle like an SUV. And I don't blame people that don't want to even spend that. I put that out there and people are like, nah, probably mainly because they're not comfortable with it, because they think it's too cheap, because the market's kind of gotten people out there to feel like they need to spend that kind of money. For what? I don't know. Just to get the same results you could do in your driveway, even though it is highly recommended you do it in a garage. You know what I mean? Like I said, the only other issue that you're going to have too is, it's not really an issue, but something you got to be aware of is you got to like not drive this vehicle for about 24 hours. So you got to give up your car for half a day to get it done, and then let it sit for 24 hours. And like, you know, I'm taking the risk of if it's going to rain or something like that, because if it does, then it basically just takes you back to square one. So yeah, you know what I mean? So you basically got to give yourself the time. Me personally, I'm going to do this and then I'm going to go do some grocery shopping and stuff, because I can drive around with it. It's fine. It's just if water and stuff like that gets on it, I'm not too worried about the elements and stuff like that. It's still going to give me the same results. But like I said, the truck looks good already. All you're doing is just making it get a little extra, you know, shine to the paint, and something that lasts you, you know, about 1.5 to 2 years. Like I said, I keep reiterating that because if you just do one layer, you know what I mean? And every ceramic coating is different. It's all your, you know, your preference on what company you want to use. There's tons of them out there. You might even find something that's cheaper than Drexler. My wife just found it and I figured I'd give it a try, and you know, not a big deal. Plus they also make glass and they also make rim ceramic coating. Those are super cinchy. It's the same thing. You're just going to prep everything and then you're going to do a couple drops on it, like 7 to 10, like you do on the ceramic coating for your vehicle. You wipe it on there and leave it on there for 24 hours. You're good to go. Same with the glass. You can get away with that though by just clay barring your window and waxing it. Gives you the same results. Saves your windshield wipers, stuff like that. So Rain-X is another thing like that. So you know, there's all kinds of stuff out there. But anyways, just kind of want to show you guys where we're at in the steps. Went on a little ramble. I apologize, but anyways, let's get back to it and then I'll show you the results.
This is Phase Music.
So sun's going down, So I kind of just wanted to kind of just show you guys the last step, okay? So literally, all you got left is the top coat. We were done about 3 hours ago. They say if you can wait longer, the better. But you basically just got to make sure it's dry. And it's dry, so it don't take very long, really, to be honest with you. I usually wait like 3 to 4 hours. It's about 3 hours. But anyways, all you basically got to do is take your top coat here and then just spray a little bit. Just work panel by panel, and then basically just wipe it off right away. And that's it. And then once it's all dried up, you're done. And then you got yourself ceramic coated vehicle. So pretty easy stuff. But anyways, in my opinion, I think everyone should make an attempt if you really want to do this yourself. If you don't, no big deal, right? I mean, just kind of want to show you guys that it can be done, and that you can do it without having to be in a garage and pay $1,800 and all that good stuff. So anyways, hope you guys liked the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. See you guys next time.